Hey guys, it's a bit of an unplanned live. Um, Biscuit this afternoon, just an hour and a half ago, started to look a little bit weird, and she's not able to look up at me, like she can't lift her head up. So I contacted the vet down here, even though they're closed, hoping that they might be open. They're not. I knew they're not, but sometimes if one of the vets is around having a quiet Saturday night or whatever, they will actually respond. And then I've just rang the emergency vet, and it's like a 40-minute drive away. So I thought my anxiety started to go through the roof a little bit. So I'm going live. Hi, Raven. Hi, Stacey Marie. How are you, Stacey Marie? I'm just going to pull over just for a second and see if I can have Google Maps on at the same time. I probably can't. It keeps saying it's going to try and find the best route, which isn't really. I think we'll just wing it, hey? I know where roughly, I know the street I've got to go to, so we should be okay. But yeah, it's a bit of a drive, guys, so I thought I'd just put the YouTubes on because some of you know I never used to, but after some issues emanating from adrenal burnout, I now live with anxiety, and it was just going through the roof. So I thought I'll just go live on YouTube. Weirdly, it'll keep me, this probably doesn't sound weirdly, you guys will keep me calm if some of you join me and hang out with me on the drive in. I'm hoping Biscuit falls asleep. She's very floppy and absolutely hates going to the vet, but with a bit of luck, because she's so limp, I'm hoping it won't be too traumatic for her or me or the vet. Thanks. Yeah, send out positive vibes. I did a bit of Googling, and apparently my Biscuit already has a couple of serious health conditions anyway. She's got feline cardiomyopathy and hypertension. Not hypertension, hypothyroidism. So she's already got two sort of debilitating conditions, and they can lead to kidney problems and heart problems and fluid on the lungs and all sorts of stuff. So she takes a lot of medicine every day. But I did a bit of a Google, and apparently cats not being able to lift their heads up to look up at like me rather than just looking straight ahead, it can be a potassium level issue, like really low potassium. So I found that out on the Google machine. Now, I'm never going to be a Google vet. I'll always let the vets tell me what's going on with Biscuit, but I'm also in a pet group on Facebook, and I just said in there, has anyone ever had this happen with their cat? And a human doctor. Oh, Mel, hi. I sent you a message because I was a bit freaking out, but I've decided to bite the bullet and take her into the after-hours vet. So I'll be putting a second mortgage on my house, but, you know, the things we do for our animals. She can't lift her head up. Like, she can look straight ahead, but she's holding her head really weirdly. And, yeah, if I click my fingers above her head or anything like that, she can't look up. Hi, Francesca. Yeah, look, it could be Raven. It could definitely be why she's been a bit out of sorts. Yeah, I mean, look, the pet group and the human doctor both said, you know, snake bite and ticks can also be a problem, but she's not been around, like, well, there was a dog at my house a week ago, But Frankie doesn't have ticks. I mean, you can't own a dog and they have ticks and you don't know about it. And she certainly didn't get a snake bite because my house is up on stilts. So it's not so much paralysis, it's because she can move her head, except when I try to get her to look up at me. And this Reddit thread that I found, but also the doctor that was chatting to me in the pet group said like low potassium levels can do this to cats, and it's very common in cats that have hypothyroidism, which she's got. So I'm hoping that's all it is. But it's stressful, man. Oh, you've got 11 cats, Raven? You are a crazy cat lady. 11 is you. I get called a crazy cat lady with one cat, and I'm like, well, I think you've got to have at least 3 to be a crazy cat lady. Have any of your cats ever done this, Raven? By the way, Mama, that's amazing that your cat survived it. That's such a great story. Because I've heard so many sad tales regarding animals and bites and ticks and yeah, no, you've got your kid puking and my kid's. She's actually been fine. Well, she's been a bit out of sorts for the last few days, but I've been working for the first time in a long time, and I've obviously been sending out a bit of a grief vibe for quite a while. I mean, I don't mean I've been, collapsed in a heap wailing or anything, but okay, well, we don't want cat death stories. I've gone live because my anxiety is absolutely through the roof, and I'm trying really hard not to cry right now. So I'm sure she's going to be fine. It's me that's falling apart right now. And because I've got to drive, I need some love. I need some encouragement. You need to hold my hand. But yeah, sad to hear about that. We've had some animals that have died in really horrible ways too, but I don't want to think about that right now. I've had enough death so far this year. We're getting there. We'll get there, Mel and Raven. We will. It's just I'm having a bit of not a panic attack, but my anxiety's just peaking like crazy at the moment, and I've been extra fragile because of Birdie's funeral and writing the eulogy and wanting to honour her life and not leave anyone out of it who she loved, and then actually delivering it. Like it was really, I did eulogies for my mum and my dad, and it sounds awful, but they were much easier than doing Birdie's. And as you know, Mel, I've also been really, I've lost a lot of friends, but Mem's death really hit me hard, and then to have Birdie die not long after, it's all just been a bit much as far as my anxiety goes. And then even starting my new job, which so far I'm loving, and I really love the people that I work for, but that's a big ask too in the middle of, like the week I started with the Birdie went into palliative care, and then on the weekend she died, and then I had my first week on my own, and then her funeral. So it's all been a bit full on. But I'm not saying this year's been shitty. I mean, I've certainly lived the first month of this year. But don't forget to use caps, guys, if you want to chat. There will be sometimes I'm going to be able to stop to see chat, but I can't. I've actually got reading glasses on, and I don't wear them at night, so at some point I'm going to have to take them off. My focus, and I can't say. So please don't think anyone. Please don't think that I'm not reading chat or ignoring you. I had saying that to me the other day, and I was driving on a freeway like this, doing 110 k's an hour, and I was sort of like, well, there's a little bit going on right now. I'm not just sitting in my living room looking at a computer screen. We really are, Melba, honestly. And, we've had some really good laughs and stuff in the middle of it all too. But the last week and a half with Birdie, I was looking after everyone else and propping everyone else up, and then I suddenly was like, fuck, I've got to stand up and do this eulogy and honour her life and all of her friends and family and the people she cared about in like 10 minutes. And it was, even though I was sort of looking after everybody else, I wasn't really looking after me. I was cooking food for Scott, but then I was eating shit. And a couple of my really close friends dropped in to see me, and I couldn't believe it. I was so grateful because it was a pretty isolating experience. And then having to go off and put on a professional face and do my job that I'm still learning. But, here we are. It's Saturday, and now we're taking Biscuit to emergency. I think she's asleep. It's the first time I've ever had her in the car and she hasn't made a noise. Normally she cries a lot, so I think she's just curling up and going to sleep. Her little paw was hanging out the front of her carrier before, and I was stroking it and telling her she's going to be okay, and she pulled it back into the carrier. Bit like that scene in War of the Roses where they both end up falling to the floor and they're surrounded by shattered glass, and he reaches out to put his hand on her hand and she flicks it off. Michael Douglas and is it Kathleen Turner or is it I think it is Kathleen Turner. I've got to plug my charger in too. Hi, Scout. We're taking Biscuit to the after-hours emergency vet at the moment. So, oops, I'm just going to pull over, guys. I just need to plug my charger in. And I just want to check on B as well. You okay, Milks? Hey, darling. Oh, sweetheart, I know. I know, baby girl. We don't like going in the car too with Biscuit. It was a long way to go. So this is when living where I live is really bad because there's nowhere else I could have taken her closer to me. So I'm going to like the northern suburbs of Hobart. I mean, it's half an hour for me to get to the city, but then it's another 10, 15, sometimes 20 minutes to get to where I've got to go. So it's a long drive. And it's already nearly 8:45. I'm not leaving her there overnight. It's not like a condition where she looks like she's going to need to be kept overnight. Like, that was the advice I've been given from quite a few people is to, unless it's a life-threatening thing and they're showing signs of absolute distress, because, hey, Kylie, she's just acting weird. She can't lift her head up to look at me. Like, if you picture a cat standing on the floor, and they look straight ahead and they're looking at your calf muscles, sort of that level. But, if you're holding a bowl of food or something, how they look up at you, she just can't look up. And, yeah, a bit of Googling came up with the possibility of it being a low potassium level. And she's got 2 medical conditions that kind of stuff is likely to happen. It can happen. But also a human doctor in a pet group, on Facebook, said that this sort of thing in cats is usually either a low potassium level, was her first suggestion, or a snake bite or a tick. But I've searched her and everything like crazy to see if it's a tick, but she's not an outdoor cat, and she does come out on the deck with me, but it's a timber deck, and my house is on stilts, so the snake is not likely at all. In fact, it's impossible. So I've done like the full body check as much as I could to see, but I don't know how she'd get a tick unless she was around a dog that had ticks, and the only dog I've been near lately is my friend Christy's dog Frankie, who's a border collie, but she hangs around in the house all day. She doesn't like going out in the garden. So, and I mean, if Frankie had a tick, they'd know about it. She doesn't. I mean, they would have said Frankie has ticks, but she went from like basically being in a house to in the car to visit me. Ticks will travel long distances. Well, it could be a tick. I mean, I couldn't find one. Hey, Serenity Bee, you're all keeping me company while at least you're getting to see the sunset, I guess. It's kind of beautiful right now. Oh, I forgot I made a little coffee and put it in a traveller. I don't think it's going to be the last coffee I drink tonight somehow. But the doctor said to ask the emergency vets to do a blood test first and check for her potassium level, because it's the most likely explanation because of her pre-existing conditions. Oh, Joshy's hot. This is where I wish you were here, because it's only 16 degrees. It's warm still, but it's not cold. But it's so hard when they get sick, and it's a hot day as well. Hi to everyone coming in. I'm sorry if I don't see you. I'm focusing more on driving than usual because I'm having a bit of an anxiety issue with Biscuit. But I love that you're in chat. So hi to everyone who's coming in. I know that everyone in chat will fill you in on what's going on if you feel like you're being neglected. But yeah, this person the other day that said, "Oh, you're ignoring me in your chat." It's like, well, I'm on a fucking driving. I'm on StreamYard on my phone. My phone is nowhere near my head, and I've got shitty vision anyway. And I'm doing 110 k's on a highway. I'm not really focusing on chat. Raven, Biscuit's a girl, so you better correct that. Yeah, so I'm pretty stressed out, and I just thought going live it'd be good to have some company. Otherwise, it's a very long drive, and maybe with me chatting away, it's keeping Biscuit relaxed because she's only made a little mute once, and that was when I actually spoke to her and asked her if she was okay. Well, what else do you do, Kylie? Like all of you groovers who've got kids are the same with your kids and your animals, and I mean she's all I've got, so she's a little bit special. She's special anyway. But yeah, there's nothing worse than having a sick child or a sick animal, and you feel so helpless. But yeah, this doctor just said, look, get them to do the blood test first, because the emergency vets are usually quite young and new into the vet world. And yeah, so she said just get them to do blood first and check the potassium levels, because that's probably the most likely cause of it, because Biscuit's got these other health conditions, and it's very common in cats with these conditions. So I'm going to ask them to do that first before they start saying, oh, we're going to knock her out and do x-rays and, all kinds of shit. Been down that road before, and suddenly 2.5, 3 grand later. And look, at the end of the day, I've got a little bit of money I can pull down off my mortgage. I've got like a little emergency fund in there, but yeah, because she's got these pre-existing conditions, I'm just going to say to them, can you do the potassium level first, because it's the most likely cause. Obviously they'll check her for ticks as well, but see you later, Serenity B. Hey, like I said, guys, too, please don't feel offended if I can't read comments and stuff while I'm driving. When you're on your phone on StreamYards, you only see like 1 or 2 comments. If someone writes something like a long comment, sometimes you only see 1 comment, and it moves, yeah, if there's a sort of 1 comment there, then I can't see previous ones, you know what I mean? So short and in caps if you want me to see something, but at the moment I'm on a fairly busy highway, so unless I get to traffic lights or something, there's not a lot of opportunity for me to see chat. But this is really just to keep me calm while I drive into the emergency vets with my little bee. And she has been a bit out of sorts for the last couple of days, but nothing that warranted a visit to the vet. Although she loves her food, she has had times where she hasn't been that hungry, like when it's really hot. So I wasn't overly, she wasn't doing anything overly weird. She just wasn't finishing every last bit of food in her bowl. But this not being able to move her head thing is weird. She can move her head, she just can't look up. She can move it left, right, down. She's been drinking water. She's been going to the loo. She went out to her enclosure. She got up in her little hammock. Like she's doing what she does. Hey, Tanny. I haven't seen you forever. How are you doing, gorgeous? I've been a bit off the radar with Birdie's funeral, and now I'm taking Biscuit to the emergency vet, so and also started a new job. Yeah, it's been busy, but it hasn't all been bad. I'm certainly not complaining. I've probably done more living in the last 6 weeks than I had in the last 6 months of the end of last year, in a way. But I've had a bit of every aspect of life in the last 6 weeks. There's been some babies emerging into my life, and funerals and birthdays, and lots of birthdays, including mine, and my brother and his wife and daughter moving to Singapore. There's been all kinds of things. So I know, poor little fluff, but she's a fighter though. And when she was diagnosed with these conditions last year, the vet said to me, start saving your money, because she's probably going to have quite a lot of health issues for the remainder of her life. And it's because she was chronically obese. When she was surrendered the last time, she was 12 kilos. And that's big for a cat. Like, she's 6 kilos now. She was just under 9, like 100 grams under 9 kilos when I rescued her. So she's done really well. But yeah, because she hasn't been eating too much, like, your little belly's getting a bit smaller than usual, but nothing to be concerned about until I noticed that she wasn't able to look up at me, and it only happened late this afternoon. We've been pottering around together, and apart from her not finishing. But when I say she's not finishing the food in a bowl, I mean like she's eating all of it except for a teaspoon worth. I got her the seafood meals like food yesterday, and she ate everything last night. But today she left to look at it in her bowl after dinner again. So I don't know. She's out of sorts. Thanks, Tanny. Just a reminder, everyone, to write in caps if you want me to say something, and also thanks for filling people in the scan. I can't read your whole paragraph, but yeah, I can only see like 2 comments on the screen at the moment, and because they're both in lower caps, I can't read them, but that's fine. But I just don't want anyone getting upset and having a crack at me that I ignored them when I'm doing 110 kilometres an hour on a freeway. I can't read everything. Sorry. So this is an across-the-board apology to anyone who feels ignored. It's not deliberate. God, I don't know if you can see the cloud pattern ahead, but it's like somebody drew them. They're really pretty. The clouds up ahead, they're like little hand-drawn, matching equal size sort of squiggles. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's pretty cool. But yeah, so I went live just to help with my anxiety, because I thought, well, even if I just talk non-stop till I get there. But yeah, Biscuit might be asleep or just chilling out. She's pretty floppy. But yeah, you're getting to see the sunset behind Mount Wellington, Kunyani, so that's pretty special. And there's a very fine crescent moon in the sky, which is quite stunning as well. I don't know if the phone will pick it up or not, but I'm not going to be doing 110 the whole way, so I'll try to read chat when I can. But thank you guys for hanging out with me. I feel better. Started to breathe a little bit better. Stressful when our babies are sick, whether they're human or animal. I just feel so helpless. It's like with little kids, it's like the same as with animals, because they can't tell you what's wrong. And the chances of them understanding everything we say to them is pretty slim. This is a time where I wish Biscuit could speak English and we could talk to each other. I mean, I've been reassuring her she's going to be okay, but I wish this is when I wish animals could talk so they could let you know, because animals are very good at hiding that they're not feeling very well as well, because it's that sort of survival tactic. If you're out in the wild and you look like you're not well, then you're a target. So hey Emily, I'm taking Biscuit to the after hours emergency vet because in the last hour or so she's been unable to look up at me. Like she can move her head up and not up and down. She can move it down and side to side, but she can't look up, like lift her head up to look up at. Like when I'm doing stuff on the kitchen bench, she looks up at me. I just put dinner on too. I've taken it out of the oven. It's nearly 9 o'clock at night. I hate to think what I'll be eating for dinner, and I'm using that word loosely. I'll probably have to stop and get some rank takeaway or something on the way home, and another coffee probably. Could be a late night, guys. Yeah, so I went live because my anxiety was through the roof, and um, I just thought at least if I go live, I can just talk my way into town. And oh, it would be Kylie, and yeah, I mean, how stressful. I mean, I'm hoping that when I was lying on the floor with Vicky before and patting her, and she started doing this, the cutest thing at night when she gets up on the bed with me. I extend my arm out and sort of tickle her under her chin, and then I'll stop, and then she'll sort of headbutt me, but like hand butt me for more, and I'm like, more, and so I do it again, and that happens like 4 or 5, 6, 7 times, and then my hand is sort of lying flat on the bed, and then she puts her head in my hand while I fall asleep. It's so cute. So I was doing that on the floor with her, and she was tearing her head off. She just can't lift her head up to look up at me. But we're getting her to the vet. She'll get the right help that she needs. I'm hoping it is just a really low potassium level. I definitely won't be reading chat while I drive over this bridge. This bridge is just normal to us, but so many people have commented under my lives going, I can't believe you go over that 5-lane bridge and there's no barriers or anything. Like, you're all just somehow staying in your little lanes. It doesn't always happen. People do have accidents on this bridge, of course, but no words yet, Carly. How old's your son? That's hard. That's hard. One of my friends has got autistic twins, and one of them is high functioning and can speak, and the other one has never spoken a word. So the one who can speak has pretty much sort of been the mouthpiece for both of them. But he does know, I'm not sure if it's actually Auslan, but he does know a sign language that he can communicate quite a lot of things. But yeah, his twin brother basically is the mouthpiece, but also high functioning autistic. So yeah, it's a pretty interesting combination. But they're like 18 now. Hey, gone girl. Thanks, Polly. Well, you're all holding my hand. I feel supported. Oh, Victoria, her most fragile. Already kind of and the second week in my new job without supervision and Bertie's funeral and everything. It was a big week, big week. So today was kind of a dedicated just stay home with Biscuit and have a really quiet day and do as much or as little as I felt like. And now my baby girl's fragile. Hugs to you too, young girl. I know there's paragraphs that I'm missing in chat. I'm really sorry. I can't look at my phone long enough to read them. And I really can't read lowercase at all. So sorry, groupers. Please don't think I'm ignoring you. Maybe you're using lowercase because you're chatting about something else, and that's fine too. That could be a good strategy. I can just keep an eye. It's good, Scout. It's good. It's great. It's going to be great. But yeah, I've had a tough 2 weeks because my first week was the week Bertie went into palliative care, and then she died, and my second week was the week of her funeral, and I had to do the eulogy at it, and I'm going to love it. I am, but I'm just, it was a nice distraction, and it was nice to have something to get up and get dressed and go into work and do. But yeah, I'm a bit worried about B at the moment, so I can't get all yay about my job. But if you listen to, if you feel like it, I mean, I wouldn't expect you to, but my life when I left work this week, I was pretty happy and pretty pumped. But I'm fighting back tears at the moment, so yeah. But if you all just suddenly all start writing in lowercase, I'll be like, wow, none of you are holding my hand. You're all talking about everything else, but not giving tourism love. And like now I'm at the traffic light. Thanks, Tanny. Has Scout? It's been a hell of a year. But like I was saying, I mean, it's not all. It hasn't all been horrible. Like it's been hard, but life's hard, you know. But there's been some really special stuff too. Chain smoking. I'm breathing. I'm breathing. I'm certainly breathing a lot more than when I left the house. My anxiety was kind of through the roof. Biscuit has never, ever, ever been this calm in the car, ever. Poor little thing. I hope she's asleep. Although she'll be waking up fairly soon. Now, I tried to do Google Maps, but I don't think you can do Google Maps and be live on StreamYard at the same time. So I mean, I know the road I've got to go to, but in terms of Google Maps, just to make sure I was turning the right way, but we'll wing it. She is a tough Aussie cat, Charlie. She is. She's amazing. But yeah, so the road that we're going along is just here, but it's got like an east end and a west end, and I didn't check which end it was, but that's all right. If we're at the wrong end, it won't take that long to get to the right end. Looking for number 37. It sounds weird, but I might actually have to take my glasses off. Far out, that's a massive essay. I can't read that, Serenity Bee, but thank you for whatever it says. Yeah, hold little bee's paws. I do have to take my glasses off to see where this place is. Which means I can't read chat at all. But thank you guys for hanging out with me. I'll probably go live driving home if anyone's still around. Emergency vet centre. I was hoping it'd be lit up like a Christmas tree, and it is. So, but there's no parks. Entry around the corner. Okay. Oh, they're busy. Entry. Okay. We're here. Thank you too for everyone. I know Melma was and a few others as well, for filling everyone in on what's going on. I will go live for the drive home, and hopefully we'll have Biscuit with me. Well, thank you. Thank you for getting me here. I'm just finishing the last of my coffee. I think Biscuit's asleep. I love you guys so much. And I'm sculling coffee. Thank you so much for keeping me company, and I'll be back later if anyone's around to let you know what's going on with Little B. But I love you guys so much. Chat soon.